hope and cure are both there in the same line. I truly think there will be a cure for cancer eventually if they continue to do the research.
Those drugs keep my transplant working. And if I didn't have a transplant, I'd either still be on dialysis or I may not be here right now.
It's a big, big thing for my freedom and independence to have the right medication.
Lately, it's hard not to find a newspaper or TV news headline that amounts to trial attorneys soliciting clients for their next big class action lawsuit against a pharmaceutical manufacturer. But behind all the noise of plaintiff lawyers trolling for their next big payout, other voices are clamoring to be heard. They are the voices of patients in Michigan and across the country who are here today because of access to caring, highly skilled physicians and life-saving prescription medicine.
I can honestly say I wouldn't have a family right now if it wasn't for the drugs that I'm on.
I'm on a new drug myself, and it wasn't available 5 years ago maybe, and I just think of friends who could have used it and would have survived.
The new one that I'm taking, it's just, wow, I can actually be myself. I mean, I can be me. And my old ones, I was like in a cloud in a daze. It's like I couldn't see where I was going.
Medical liability and tort reform measures passed by Michigan lawmakers in the 1980s and 1990s have opened the doors for highly skilled physicians and patients seeking treatment. Michigan has become a hub for biotech pharmaceutical research and manufacturing companies and other life sciences who have invested millions in developing new products here in the state.
The governor's made a big push to say we need to keep jobs in this state. Well, if we don't have active, good health care in this state, it's going to be hard to keep those jobs here.
But Michigan hasn't always been a great state for physicians practicing medicine or for patients seeking access to new life-saving treatments and medicine.
In the past, in the 70s and 80s, we had huge problems with liability. We were losing physicians left and right. It was very difficult in those days to practice medicine in this state.
10 and 20 years ago, many patients with life-threatening illnesses and disease had a hard time living normal lives and didn't see much hope for their futures.
Back when I was on dialysis, there were times that I would pass out on campus. I often got infections from the dialysis. I dreamed of having kids, I dreamed of having a husband, but never thought that it would be possible. And then when I got my transplant, things just turned around. You know, it was like a whole new life.
For me, I would probably be dead if I didn't have access to chemo.
If I didn't have access to quality doctors and access to prescription drugs, I'd probably be dead. And or be in some kind of vegetative state or just be like in a coma. Oh, I could not see myself being that way.
Both physicians and patients are concerned if tort reforms are repealed, access to quality health care, new treatments, and life-saving medicines could be severely limited.
It threatens the very livelihood of physicians. And quite frankly, physicians may not be able to stay in practice. I might not be able to stay in practice and serve my patients.
The biggest risk I see at changing laws right now would be that I do believe the drug companies would be very hesitant or at least be somewhat reluctant to work on new drugs.
Tort reform isn't just about physicians and drug manufacturers. It's about patients. In recent years, Michigan's tort reform laws have encouraged pharmaceutical companies to introduce life-saving drugs to patients waiting for cures.
Because of my medication, I get both freedom and independence because I can stay home alone. When I was younger, I couldn't stay home alone. I can go out with my friends, and now that I'm getting my driver's license, I can actually drive around by myself, which is a great thing. I can go to the mall by myself, I can go to the store by myself, I can go, anywhere by myself without somebody right there next to me holding my hand, basically.
I was able to go back and finish school after I got my transplant. I was able to get a job. I'm working full-time now, and I never pictured myself being able to work full-time for almost 10 years at the same company.
New prescription medications and advances in healthcare treatments have meant hope for patients, allowing them to live better and longer lives.
It's like a whole thing has been lifted off of me. Because before it was like, you're going to have good quality life for a couple years here, but prognosis is not good. And with the Herceptin, prognosis is a whole lot better. Who knows, but it's like I'm getting the cure instead of waiting for the cure.
Quality of life has improved. For example, diabetics, if you go back many years, all we had was insulin. Now we have several oral medications. Doesn't get much easier than taking a pill.
Each day, in Michigan and across the country, patients and physicians discuss the safety as well as risks associated with taking life-saving prescription medication. These are private, personal decisions between doctors and patients about the best course of treatment and the risks involved.
I am responsible for my health care, and I think every patient is more empowered when they are responsible for their own health care rather than having someone else tell them what to do.
It's my responsibility to manage my health care in partnership with the doctor, because I don't know it all. He has far more knowledge on medical situations, but I think it's so important for people to really take charge of their health.
The question before the House is...
Michigan lawmakers hold the power to encourage innovative pharmaceutical research to continue in the state and to allow patients to work with their doctors to decide which prescription medication or life-saving treatment is right for them. Michigan's current tort system works because of ongoing research and development by biotech and pharmaceutical companies. New life-saving medicines are constantly being introduced, and patients like Mary, Kim, and Katie have hope.
Now I'm actually having fun. I'm actually being myself, and I actually have a life. I've dated. I've gone out on a date. I mean, I've had boyfriends, and it's love. I love it.
It provides me wings. Like, I was a caterpillar crawling along before, and then I was able to become a butterfly.
There is hope that there's something going to be happening that's going to cure this, and I'm going to be able to live to see my grandchildren. I'm going to watch my daughter get married. I'm going to, whatever, grow a garden. I don't have to constantly be worrying about, how am I going to get well? Am I going to get well? That's the biggie.